Welcome everyone to September. What is that? This year has been flying by. Well, in this video, I'm going to talk about 5 home maintenance tips for your desert home, and this is my September edition. So we all know that summers are hot in the desert, right? And we are shifting from this extreme heat to more cooler evenings. And now that we're getting to these ember months, September, October, November, December, we are experiencing a pivotal time for preparing ourselves for optimizing comfort and really refreshing our environment and just really preparing for the fall season ahead, which is always my favorite time of year, the harvest season. So I want you to think of this as your opportunity to exhale after the summer. And August was hot. We have been getting more and more humid over the years in August. And I just really want to share with you 5 tips to help you really prepare your home for a smoother fall. So if you don't know about me, my name is Sabrina Riccio. I'm a shamanic brand strategist, and I'm also a real estate agent in the Palm Springs, Joshua Tree area, born and raised desert native here. And I have this video here to help realtors and sovereign leaders alike to activate their legacy, and also buyers and sellers to activate their legacy, because real estate to me is the ultimate form of legacy building, something that can be passed on for generations to come. So if you want more information on how to really nourish your home and real estate 101 and overall tips and tricks for both buyers and sellers, and if you're a realtor, I'm here to share with you more about brand strategy and business development. Make sure you subscribe and give this video a like so it can let the algorithm know, like, hey, this is actually helpful content, and let's share this message out there. So the first tip I really want to share is to make sure that you service your HVAC system before the nights get cooler if you haven't already. So, in September, it can still feel a little hot. It's not August hot, but it can still be a little warm. I mean, we're not too far away from what August was, correct? Am I right or am I right? So, but the great thing about September is that these desert nights really start to cool down quickly. And your HVAC system really needs to be ready for this transition from cooling to heat without that hiccup, because while our summers are hot, our winters can be cool. And granted, we're only on our way into autumn, but it's better to be ahead of the game, especially with season around the corner. You want to the early bird catches the worm, right? What I would suggest is to really book a professional inspection to really test your furnace, to make sure, or even your heating components, to really make sure that the ductwork through the inspection, that there aren't any leaks or gaps where air can really come out, and really make sure that your thermostat is balanced and that it's correctly switching between the modes. Next, I would say change your air filter again. We are in the desert. There is a lot of dust, and when you look at what these air filters are that you are breathing in, sometimes it's not a good look. Am I right or am I right? So we had a lot of fires, and how it always is in the summer. So there can be a lot of that dust from the smoke. We've got the dust from the winds because it can get windy. We all know this. And I don't know about you, but the allergies that are happening in the summer, they're getting worse and worse, and that can really clog your filters quicker. So this can result in really reducing your airflow, and that will make your system work harder than it needs to. So my suggestion is to really change out your air filters, and it will just feel so much nicer what you're breathing in inside your house as well. The next thing I would say is to really adjust your irrigation system and water smarter. So people don't really think about it. Maybe their gardeners do it, but it's really important to make sure that you're aware of how much you have on your timers for water. You know, as we're getting into summer, we're not really in the 124 degree weather like we have in August. And this wasn't this past summer, as I'm recording this, wasn't too bad. Of course, August has been hot, but other than that, we really can't complain. But these plants outside really needed more water in the heat, right? And as it gets cooler, you don't want your plants to die from overwatering. So really make sure that your timers are set with the right amount of flow. Check your sprinklers, and really make sure that, again, you're watering smarter. Because when you adjust now, it's not only going to conserve water, which is what we all want, but the bigger thing here is that it's also going to prevent root rot. And you don't want that oversaturation in your plants and your plants to die, right? Think smart. Allow your irrigation timer to have shorter cycles. And my suggestion would really have these water irrigation systems running in the early morning when evaporation is minimal and the temperatures are cooler, or even later in the evening where it can, you know, just really seep in through the roots, and they can really nourish the roots with the hydration that they need. Again, you want to also inspect your drip emitters, your lines, your sprinkler heads for clogs, because the thing about the desert is that we do have a lot of calcium and hard water, and that can also block the sprinkler heads, which can prevent your plants from getting watered. We also want to check for cracks or for leaks, especially around areas that see intense sun, because so many of these sprinklers, if not all of them, are made out of plastic. And obviously that sun exposure with the plastic is not a good look for the health, I should say, of your sprinkler system, especially during the summer. Next, I would say the next phase would be to also declutter your garage and storage spaces. Of course, we all know spring cleaning, but I don't know about you, but I also like to release in the harvest season, because we all know once winter comes, it's busy. And especially in the desert, you know, our winter and fall seasons are super busy. So my suggestion would be to go through what you have sooner than later, host a garage sale, donate to your local thrift store, what have you, throw out what's broken that you're holding on to. Don't get in this clutter mindset. Really only hold on to what you need, and you will feel such a release for your nervous system that you're not bombarded around so much stuff and crap and things that you're holding on to for sentimental reasons because you're afraid to let go, right? The thing about our garages is that it can really be that catch-all space in the summer that really is overflowing with camping gear and pool floats and tools and forgotten bins that just are holding a whole bunch of stuff that we're never going to use. But again, there is that emotional, sentimental value that's had us hold on. And so now it's time to clear out, release, and let go, and create space for the new that wants to come in, that may be higher quality or maybe more in alignment with the person you are today. I mean, do you really need the dresses that you had from high school and you're a 35-year-old woman? Let's get real. I mean, who knows? It may be coming back, but you catch my drift here. My suggestion would be to really sort through all your old tools, go through boxes and bins. Again, donate, discard unused items, and organize by season, so you can really have some structure in that garage, and it's also easy to access. Have all your Christmas stuff in one place, all your Halloween stuff in one place, have all your camping gears in one place, all of your pots and pans for, you know, your garden in one place. Just really organize it, and so every time you go into your garage, it doesn't feel overwhelming, and it can just really feel like an exhale. So it's time to really heal that inner hoarder. And again, just let go of what no longer serves. Another thing to consider is to also sweep the floors and really wipe down your shelves and your cabinets from all the built up sand and dust that can be accumulated over time, and cobwebs if you haven't really, there hasn't been movement, right? Like that really accumulates during these dry desert summers. And so we want to make sure we are cleaning out. Think of the very feng shui of like releasing and clearing out, and again, making space for the new that wants to come in, the abundance that's ready to come in for you. But if you don't have space for it, you're not going to be able to hold it and sustain it. And we want to up level you into this next chapter of yours. The next thing that I think is also a major piece is to really make sure that you seal up your hole's parameter and really check where there may be spaces or hoses that bring the outside in. Let me tell you, I had a squirrel come into my house through my lint vent from outside. And this squirrel, I mean, granted, I live in Joshua Tree, right? This squirrel ate through the hose of my lint hose that attaches to my dryer. And it came in, ate my dog's dog food, it ate my bowl of chocolate covered espressos, and then it came back out. So I ended up putting sticky traps so that I can try to release it, and Tia, like a little graphic, but it ate its tail off for survival to get back out. We want to make sure that these hoses and the seals around your windows and doors are really prepared and ready to make sure critters, it doesn't have to be a squirrel or a rat, it can also be beetles and whatnot. Just making sure that they're sealed so that we don't have guests that we don't really want in the house. So I want you to realize that with this cooler weather, critters want to come in with that as well. And you never know what cracks they can get into, you know? So just check the perimeter now to really prevent any future discomfort and infestations, because nobody wants that in your home. It's gross. No one wants that. The key here is to really do a walkthrough of all of your windows and your doors, the baseboards, if you have an attic, those entries, especially in older homes where these seals may have dried out or cracked over time. And we all know, again, this heat, it can really bring about cracks in our seals around our windows, especially if we have older windows or sliding glass doors or whatnot. We want to double check and make sure that the home is safe. And of course, you also don't want the cool air to get out with the air conditioning running. So it's important to really think about applying fresh chalk and maybe reinstalling some weather stripping in any spot that you may feel a draft coming from outside or you see light coming through. And I really want you to focus on these entry points, the garage doors, utility closets, areas where rodents and insects may sneak in, and do something about it. Finally, I would say prepare your roof and gutters. You know, leaves are starting to fall slowly but surely. And before that debris and the rare seasonal monsoon rains arrive, it's really smart to give your roof and your gutters one last post-summer checkup. You really want to make sure that these gutters and downspouts are clear of any leaves or twigs and dirt to really ensure that there is proper drainage when there is the occasional monsoon desert rain. And it can also, you know, because it's so dry, it can reduce the risk of fires from that dry debris. So make sure you are inspecting your roof tiles and any flashing or vents for signs of wear and tear, shifting or cracks from the sun exposure. So addressing these small issues now will prevent bigger problems down the line. And again, nobody wants that. So these are my 5 home prep tips for desert living for September. If there are any other suggestions that you have, feel free to put them in the comments below. Otherwise, let me know which ones you are adding to your house. If you want, I have my desert home maintenance free checklist. You can grab that in the description below, where you can get my whole checklist for the year that you can check off and come back to, just to really prepare your home and really cultivate your home as a sacred sanctuary, the sacred sanctuary that it is, I should say. And again, I have one for every month, a really beautiful guide. And again, if you want that, you can check out the description below and I will bring it directly into your inbox. If you're looking to buy or invest in real estate, maybe you're ready to downsize in the desert. That is a big thing that I am seeing, is that so many people have had these homes in the desert for so long, but now they're empty nesters or they're retired and they want to minimize the amount of space that they have in their home and really downsize. I'm here to help guide you home and find the right place for this next chapter of yours. So there's also links below if you want to set a free 30-minute consultation call and allow me to help guide you home and prepare this next chapter. This is my wheelhouse. I really enjoy helping people cultivate sacred spaces and guiding them home. I believe your home really is an expression of you. And so if you're feeling like your house isn't doing it anymore, let's find the right one. Again, my name is Sabrina Riccio and I am here. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. Again, give this a like, subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a good one. Take care.